And those trumpets mean it's another episode of A Shot of Reviews. I am your host, Jarrell, and with me is my co-host, Stewie.
Stu.
How's it going, Stewie? How's it going? You gotta have that name. I like that name. So, on this show, we review some albums that came out in the past week. And we have a little conversation with a little bit of alcohol on the side to make it a little more interesting for everybody. But first, before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that we do our show every week, but last week we had to take a little break for Valentine's Day, but I'll get into that story in a minute. But right now, I want to talk about the what's going on here and how much I'm dedicated to everybody on the show, where I went to pick up my co-host, Stu, before I started the show, and we're here in New Jersey, in the northeastern area of the country. And right now we're experiencing a bit of a, what do they call it, a polar freeze going on right now?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Arctic tundra wasteland.
The Arctic blast from the Russia or Siberia is coming over here and putting us in negative digits, like for weeks on end. And with that, they're bringing lots of snow as well. So I wanted to pick up Stu before the snow came down today, but unfortunately I couldn't get to him in time. It started snowing, so I was like, you know what? We got to have this show off the ground. I am dedicated to my fans. I'm driving to pick this guy up, taking the back roads, because the main roads is a little bit too crowded with cars. Apparently, everyone didn't get the memo it's going to snow today. I'm behind this lady. We're doing about 25 in the back roads. And there's a part on the road where it kind of, I guess, veers to the left a little bit. And she's going like the same speed. And all of a sudden, the back of her car starts turning left towards where the road's going. And the back of her car starts to kind of go to the opposite direction. So she tries to counterattack it by turning that way. Next thing you know, she just drives right over the speed sign. And then she's just
obviously I wasn't in the car for this.
Yeah, you weren't there for this. This is pre picking up Stu E. And she hits the speed limit sign, just runs right over it, and then comes to a stop. So my first thought is, man, I don't want to have to fucking pull over and talk to this lady. You know, it's really inconveniencing my day because I don't want to have to stop for her. But another part of me said I might as well see if she's all right. I pull up to the side of her. She said she's all right, so it's cool. But at that moment, I'm just like panicking the whole way to get this guy. Drop my speed limit down to like 15 miles an hour. End up getting to his house later than I wanted to, but
I was still asleep.
He was still asleep. Matter. I text this guy twice times saying I'm picking up at 2. And I text him I'm on my way.
Shit does not wake me up. No.
I get there. He's just getting dressed now. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. What the hell were you doing?
I was drinking last night.
This guy was drinking last night.
I was hanging out with my brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I can let that slide, but I don't know. It puts you in a comatose like all morning, man.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's a good idea you're drinking right now. But that was my adventure tonight, picking this guy up. But let's get into last week's episode. That didn't happen was because it was Valentine's Day. That's right, the day that we all have to, as husbands and boyfriends, have to celebrate our relationships, run out and buy cards, and shower our women with flowers and chocolates and take them to the most exquisite restaurants and wait for hours and hours.
The whole fact that it even happened.
What did you do last week for Valentine's Day?
I watched TV.
Now, see that, guys?
I did have candy though.
This is the perks of being single.
Candy hearts and some Tootsie Roll Pops. That's about how I celebrated with no one else.
So is that I want to get into Vicariously Live Through You, wasn't it? What is it like being a single man on Valentine's Day?
Single man on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Slightly depressing.
Why is that? I mean, looking from my perspective, I have to think about the...
I didn't do any work to try to get a Valentine. I guess that's an easy way to break the ice with someone. So I could have done something about it. You know, maybe that's the depressing part, that I didn't try to do anything about it.
Yeah, but girls find it creepy if you give them a Valentine's Day thing if you're not
already hooked up with them.
Yeah, they're like, this
Oh, that's
guy's
creepy?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
wow.
done that before in high school, and it was just like, I got the flowers and the candies and stuff for like girls, and they're like, "Oh, thanks," but I feel like in the back of my mind they're thinking like, "This dude thinks I'm gonna like put out for him or something. That's not gonna happen." And I'm like, "Look,
So Valentine's Day is a scam.
it's
Girls
absolutely,
don't buy it.
It's absolutely a Hallmark
Unless
day.
you're already together,
Yeah. So I mean, me and the lady, we keep it a little low key. Where we went to the finest restaurant in town called Buffalo Wild Wings. Got some wings out of that. Came home and watched what did we? I can't remember. We watched some non-romantic movie. No flowers, cause that's where they get. That's where they get your Valentine's Day. They jack that shit up to like $50 for a bouquet, and it's like, you gotta buy flowers on the off season. That's my motto. Got that. Came home. Of course, we banged. You gotta have the Valentine's Day sex. That's the only good thing about Valentine's Day in a relationship, I think. It's just you have that guaranteed mark on the calendar. February 14th, I am fucking.
Unless you screw some shit up.
What?
You can screw up Valentine's Day pretty easy.
Yeah, by forgetting it. But if you're single, it's perfect. You gotta tell me what is so bad about being single on Valentine's Day. I've been single on Valentine's Day and been depressed before. But now that I'm on the other side of the fence, it's like, it's just nice to be like, not having to worry about, buying someone's affection one day. So that's why I'm asking you, like, was it, all in all, it was a good day for you, right?
Yeah, it was like any other work day.
It was a Saturday, man. You didn't work on that day.
Oh, well, technically, I worked at home.
Oh, yeah, I guess. True. But did you watch anything good? Any good shows?
No, nothing. Nothing eventful.
So
I think some Jeopardy.
There's no Jeopardy on weekends. I'm telling you that, man. You forgot what day it was.
Yeah, all right. I don't remember what I was watching. I know I was watching TV.
Yeah. So sorry, you guys. We couldn't do a show, but I guess you guys didn't notice. Maybe we'll pick it up next year because actually Valentine's Day is on a Sunday, so maybe we'll do a show. Maybe we won't. Who knows? All right. And with that. All right, this is the point in the show where we, as you can tell from what Little John said, time for us to down some shots and get into the review portion.
Who's sponsoring the review today?
I don't want to say in case they want some money out of this. So right now we are taking shots of an undisclosed alcohol beverage.
Fire testicles.
Yes, they are flaming balls. Flaming testicles, we'll say. To another great review, Stu. E. Got to get your name right, I'm sorry. Pretty strong. All right. So, first up, we have... Sorry, I gotta get that down my throat. That's what she said. This album called Home Street Home, and that's a musical soundtrack written by NoFX's Fat Mike. So he got all his buddies and members from different punk bands on the West Coast, and I have the roster here of bands that contributed to this musical he wrote for a soundtrack for. We got the Descendants, Lagwagon, No Use for a Name, Alkaline Trio, Mad Caddies, Frank Turner, The Living End, Old Man Marley, Me First and Gimme Gimmes, Dropkick Murphys, Bad Cop, Dancehall Crashers, The Agrolites, Limp, The Real Mackenzies, Marache L. Bronx, that's what they call it, RKL, and Hedwig and the Angry Inch. And they released a soundtrack full of all gutter punk tunes to satisfy even the youngest of drug-addicted, alcohol bratty anarchists. So, Stu, I gave the little introduction about that. Want to tell everybody your opinion of this record?
I thought it was amazing. I mean, it's really good depiction of punk rock. It brings me back to like City Gardens. They did a Fat Records did a CD giveaway there, where it was a compilation of a lot of different punk bands, and it was just amazing. We'll listen to it over and over again. What was it? Fat Music for Fat People?
Yeah. But you guys don't know, the Fat Mike, when Fat Records was starting out, he got all the bands together and they would release these little compilations called Fat Music for Fat People or Short Music for Short People, Life in the Fat Lanes, things like that. And they were really relatively cheap, like $8 a CD. And this is like, I guess, in the early 90s.
Mine was free.
Oh, yeah. Guess you stole it from somebody, you know?
No. They were giving them away. They were giving away CDs.
At the shows.
The show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's basically... That's the good thing about it back then. Like, people would give things away because they knew it would generate enough buzz, and then they can eventually make money down the road.
Yeah, you'd want to buy every album by every band that was on that CD.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everything was just great.
So, what did you think of the musical arrangement, since this is like a musical, so to speak?
What?
All right. Like, one of the things I'll help you on. One of the things I noticed about NoFX is that they always been good with songwriting and vocal arrangements and background harmonies, all that stuff. But with this one, a little bit different because Fat Mike got the Tony Award winner Jeffrey Marks and the writer and director Soma Snake Oil to help him put the finishing touches on his lyrics. And I think, from what I heard, this is definitely like gonna be something that comes out easily. That's something that can be on a not really Broadway, but maybe like an off Broadway or maybe even off Broadway kind of play. So one of the songs I like about on this is they had tracks like I don't sing so far. I gotta stop saying Urban Campers, Gutter Tarts, and Fecal Alcohol Syndrome, which paints a picture of homeless, rancid-smelling punk rockers who reside in the back alleys, knocking down 40 ounces and shooting up heroin, things like that. Like, he's not attempting to tell people that they should do drugs or anywhere glorifying it. He's just merely telling it as it is in an extremely clever and funny way. And then the album switches, because I think what I read that this whole musical is like about a girl named Sarah who's 16, runs away from home, meets a bunch of like punk rockers in the streets, and starts to get into like that whole like lifestyle. So there's songs on here like Missing Child, 3-string guitar, and the first song on the album is called Monsters, and it shows the struggle of adolescent alienation and questioning if parents are truly honest to their children. Just writing some notes here. Let me get down. Do you remember any of the songs you heard on the CD?
Yeah. I didn't get to listen to all of them, but yeah, as usual. Sorry, I passed out.
No problem. But you must have missed when he gets into his sexual deviant side, because Fat Mike is into S&M and all that stuff since he got divorced.
Oh no, I didn't pick that up.
So they got songs on there called Because I Want To, and a song you definitely guys got to hear is called Safe Word, and I think this title says it all. But what you won't know is if you had no idea what a chili dog is, because I didn't. Listen to this song, and you will definitely figure out.
I only know. Like,
I'm not. There's
basically
the song is about
with chili on it.
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell you. You got to listen to it. I don't want to spoil it. Spoiler alert! I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Else
I didn't listen to that. Sorry.
So they got this song called "Safe Word," and it talks about you gotta have a safe word when you're having sex. Basically, you get the idea. And they mention terms like pearl necklace, chili dog, Cleveland steamer, things like that. But you got to hear this album. You got to hear that track. It's really good. Now, I know you guys are thinking, like, how does this compare to the album that Green Day did, American Idiot, about 10 years ago? And they put that on Broadway.
Oh.
But the way I look at this album compared to the Green Day album is that album seemed like it was telling a story, and then they decided to cash in on it and turn it into a Broadway play. Whereas this one, he has this vision already of making a Broadway musical and then put the music out like that. And then when I listen to it, I'm already picturing in my head how it's going to play out on stage. So I think it's truly an incredible achievement for this guy. And honestly, I cannot wait till this comes out opening night. I'll be fucking front row. So my rating for this is definitely something you have to. Stu, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I would definitely go with a purchase.
Nice. All right, so that's the first one down. Everybody! Shots time.
Shots.
To you, Stu. It burns. Goes down your throat. It burns so good.
Delish.
Next up out we have is Neo's 6th album. And if you aren't familiar with Neo, he's the guy that sings the hook in the Pitbull song, Give You Everything. And Pitbull happens to be on this album. You know that song? Give you everything tonight. For all you know, we might not get
I
tomorrow.
don't. Most of the songs sounded the same to me.
Make it tonight.
Wait, what was that the one I pictured in the club?
No, that's another song he did. You don't know Neo, right?
No, I've heard of Neo.
Stewie's not really an R&B guy, but he has heard of Neo.
Yeah, I have.
All right, let me give you a little background on this. We're actually reviewing the deluxe edition of the album, which has 2 extra tracks on it that actually precede the first song, which is a song that the song "Run," which starts off the album. The bonus one we listen to precedes that. So I listened to this, and about 4 minutes into it, I realized that those 2 songs are definitely filler, and I'm like, man, let this fucking CD get to the fucking point. So it finally does, and I really noticed a easy comparison to Usher.
Okay, I could see that.
Usher is basically Neo's like a muse when you listen to this album, especially on this song "One More," which features T.I., and with his falsetto vocals and brief guest rap, it's a lesser version, I think, of that Usher song that came out a few years ago called "Love in This Club." You remember that song, Stewie?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Don't call me Stewie.
Did you notice that, like, that album kind of sound like him? Do you get that comparison?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So, the song I was talking to Stu, right, and he particularly liked one song on the album called "Time of Our Lives," which had Pitbull on, like I said earlier. But I found it incredibly lazy that he took basically a song that Pitbull wrote on his last album, which is called what's that album called? I forget the name of the album, but it's a Pitbull song from his recent album. I think it's called Globalization or something like that. So he just took that song and then put it on his album. I'm like, dude, that's fucking lazy as shit, man. Just right, but whatever. And then the next song on the album, in his another effort to continue riding the EDM craze, he gets David Guetta on it, and this song is called "Who's Taking You Home."
Yeah, that track was all right.
Well, in my opinion, the bad news about that is it's generic as hell, but the good news is it eventually ends. And so I'm like, is this guy gonna fucking just ride this like dance pop coattails? And then there's an interlude, and then he returns to like his straight up baby making R&B, which I'm like, all right, cool. He's not totally selling out. And he brings back that
was the only stuff I liked. Shit.
Well, I mean, I like the old school vibe on some songs, like "Make It Easy," and there's one song.
Old school vibe. Yeah, they had a big, nice ringing 808 that sounded really good.
Yeah, we'll get to that song in a second. I know exactly what song you're talking about. But even that one song with the horn arrangements, it's called "Religious." That song was pretty good too. So I like that. But the one song you're talking about is the single, which is called "She Knows," and that's what really drew me to, to wanting to hear this album, because I hope the whole album will be like that. And I notice now a lot of like R&B artists nowadays are like getting that rapper for like to do like a bridge or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
It seems like to be kind of like the trend now to get more like hip hop heads into like R&B music, which I like, but at the same time, you know, he didn't do that on all the albums, all the tracks. I mean, so I'm not really crazy about it. And one of the songs that is pretty goddamn funny is, but unfortunately too short, is this ballad he has called "Short Time," which deals with trying to have or trying to convince your girl to have a threesome as long as it's two girls and a guy and not vice versa.
Yeah, it was comical.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, but a little misogynistic at the same time. But I won't knock it too much because I was, all right, it's kind of funny, and I kind of want to hear more, and then the song just fucking ends, and I'm like, all right. So, to be honest, like the album had a rough takeoff, if you don't mind me having this metaphor. But by the second half, Neo succeeds to stick the landing. So with that, I'm going to give this something you definitely have to download. What do you think, Stu?
Download? Yeah. If I were to steal it and then not play it.
What does that mean? just to have it in your hard drive and not even listen again? Yeah. I think honestly what I'm saying about that...
Maybe singles. Maybe it would be a 99-cent single grab if you like one of the singles. Maybe listen to it if you like one of the singles, and then pay the 99 cents to download it.
All right, I guess that's fair. How you doing over
there? Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Enjoying the Mountain Dew and gin.
Mountain Dew and gin is always good. And you know what else is also good?
Everybody! Everybody!
Yeah, Lil Jon knows what's up, man. That was a genius song. It's almost subliminal, I think.
All right.
I remember being in the...
King.
All right, little shot real quick. Anytime I'm in the club and I hear that song, it just makes me want to take shots. I think they're on to something there. Final album of the night, Papa Roach. Yes, I said it. Papa Roach is back with a vengeance.
Where are they going with this?
And if you're not keeping track, this is Papa Roach's 8th album. It's a long time since their successful album Fest, which had that song everyone knows, the overplayed yet popular Last Resort. Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Yeah, well, basically,
good rendition.
And they had the follow-up album Love, Hate, Tragedy. But not many people know, which was definitely a disappointing sophomore flop. But Jacob P. Shaddix, that's what he wants to call himself now, decided to abandon the rap rock sound after that album because fortunately Fred Durst ruined that a few years prior. So since they abandoned that, they've embraced the sound of generic hard rock for the past 10 years. So when I listen to this, I prepare myself with another one of their boring releases. Starts off with the title track, which sets the atmosphere of boredom. Just another run-of-the-mill Papa Roach song, slightly peppered with digital beats and occasional yelling.
Digital beats? You mean synthesis? Actually, I like their synthesis. They had quality production synthesis thrown in there.
Yeah. I mean, well, whatever, but like the second song, was called Skeletons, continues the mediocrity with those lyrics. You remember it was like, brick by brick I built this wall, I shut you out and break the fall. One by one we cast the stones, flesh and blood and broken bones. I mean, it makes you wonder if high schoolers are their ghostwriters, to be honest with me. What do you think?
You think they were ghostwriters?
Yeah, they were like 13, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's the only thing I can assume if they're going to write lyrics that bad, you know?
So what genre do you consider this? Is this emo-core? Emotional hardcore?
Yeah, that's going to get to my next point, man.
Because that's the closest genre I could give it, in the direction that they're going.
They went to this direction since 2004.
Since 2004?
Yeah. So this is just the 8th album of this, like I said, they were a rap rock group. They realized that the trend is dead, and they said to themselves, you know what, we should stop rapping, and just be like a generic hard rock band. That's what I think they are.
I thought Grade did the emo core the best though. A very good band.
They're not emo core. They're definitely not. They're just a regular hard rock band. But when I hear that's the song, "Love Me Till It Hurts," which just plain sucks. I'll be honest with you. I can't even get the energy to break down why. All I can say is that it's borderline emo, like Stu said. It's so borderline emo that the band Hawthorne Heights would say, "Man, these guys are a bunch of pussies." And in a desperate attempt to show it they haven't lost their roots, they have a song called "Gravity," which is the next single, or might be out now, which has the rap rock elements in it. But to me, it honestly sounds like a Limp Bizkit, Evanescence B-side. It's fucking bad. What do you think?
Wow, you're such a hater.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you, man. It's like, I'll be really honest with you. When Papa Roach came out with the song I sang earlier, I was like, this band is great. I like Rage Against the Machine. I like Papa Roach. I like Linkin Park. I like all that shit. And then once they decided, rap rock isn't cool anymore. Let's not do that anymore. It's like they just been putting out bullshit for a while. So you know where I'm going with this by the end of this review. But I mean, am I being too harsh? I mean, I've been following them for 10 years. I remember you listened to the album and you were like, "This is different from what I'm used to." But I feel like you haven't heard them.
I just thought the production was really well. But as for song content, I've heard it before.
I mean, I guess I'll give you that. It was kind of different, but to you. But I've been following them for a while, ever since they changed their style with the third album, which was called "Getting Away with Murder," and they had some okay songs on it. But ever since then, it was just been whatever. I mean, even the song, the next song, they try to change the sound with the song called "Warrior," which has a dance pop synth intro, and then it which reminds me kind of a modern Britney Spears song.
Hey, I kind of liked it.
But then they come in with the heavy guitars, but they end up wasting the talents of Royce da 5'9". Said his name wrong. Royce da 5'9", by giving him a fucking 10-second guest rap on there. You remember that song? It's called Warrior, and they have a rap towards the end, and it's like, and he doesn't say much, then it's over, and it's like I look at my watch, it's like, oh, he only rapped for 10 seconds. Bullshit.
Nah, what?
So as usual, Papa Roach doesn't disappoint by staying with their comfort zone. But then again, who wants to buy the same album every 2 years? So my rating for this
heavy riffs, a little hardcore side.
Obviously, you liked it more than I did. So what did you think?
What did I think? I thought it was alright. I like the idea of modern synthesis thrown in there with heavy cuts, heavy riffs, a little hardcore side. But yeah, I think it's more emo core, and I think there's better emo core out there, but they probably wouldn't have the same production because a lot of those bands have less money and not on big record labels. So I think somebody else could do the same thing better.
Yeah, they've been in the game for I guess 14 years, and they're just putting out bland music after bland music. That's the way I feel about it. I've been keeping up with them, but they're not doing anything revolutionary or anything even innovative right now. If you bought one album in the past 10 years, you already own it. So don't even waste your time. And that's it right there. So anything else you want to talk about, Stewie? Anything else going on in your life?
No.
No?
Nothing I want to talk about and preserve on the internet.
All right. I mean, it shows early, so maybe we'll find out that you want to be more open down the roads.
Well, you worried about length? Well, we got 30 minutes there. That's half an
man,
hour. Who's
30
going to
minutes?
listen to half an hour of us fucking talking?
We have passed our time of 5 minutes. We're on our way. All right. So, let's wrap this album. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, man, let's wrap it up with our new and improved outro music. All right. Sounds nice. Relaxing. If you want to get in touch with us, contact me or the radio station at njhybridradio@gmail.com.
Or go to the website.
Or go to our website, that's right, at njhybridradio.net. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.